Greetings, all you gems out there. I'm Duuz-Diz-Din, coming at you with another Steven Universe episode review. This time it's Season 5, Episode 27, titled Together Alone, which is the driving factor in this episode, as we come to see later on. One thing of note is the fact that the handships, the Diamond's handships have been rebuilt, which, how long has it been since Steven and the others have been on Homeworld that those have just been remade in their entirety so quickly? So that's now a non-issue. I kept wondering if they were going to rebuild it, but they did that quick, fast, and in a hurry. We then cut to a dream that Steven is having of him basically being Pink Diamond. This is a flashback, that also confirms that, yes, the white pearl that we have now with the, half cracked face and all that used to be Pink Pearl. And for whatever reason, she was turned into White Pearl later down the line. And we see Steven juggling, dancing on the ball, basically being a proverbial clown. Which, a lot of people have taken note of is the fact that Pink Diamond very much acted as the form of entertainment for Homeworld. She had fun, she liked to be entertaining, she liked to goof off and do all these various things. And even her outfit in general is very much that of a, I guess you could say, Periot, of French clown, more or less, of the stylings, and she even has this moment where, Yellow Diamond pops in and, she acts very demure and serious and all that, so she plays around. But we see that Pink Diamond was very much fun-loving and loved to joke around and goof off. But then we cut to an appearance by White Diamond in the dream, and everything starts to kind of go wrong, and Steven starts spitting up Rose Quartz's hair, all the curls and stuff like that, and he ultimately wakes up. So, what this ultimately means, we'll just have to see further down the line. But it shows that this controlling nature that the Diamonds have towards Pink and ultimately towards Steven as we go a lot further along. That, if Steven acts out of line, there might be repercussions. Even for Pink Diamond in general, that was always a thing where they would punish or Pink Diamond very much acted like a little child. It's just you have to act proper and all this good stuff, or else you will be punished. So Steven wakes up, and we get to see Connie in her nice little nightie and all that. She's super adorable, so adorable. And we see that the Pebbles have been kind of reconstructing Steven's living arrangements in a way similar to his house back in Beach City. But even Garnet kind of comments, it's just like, yeah, they're making it very much like home, but not entirely. This place will never truly feel like home towards Garnet, especially since this is a place where the idea of a fusion between Sapphire and Ruby is very much looked down on, which also comes into play later on in the episode. And so Steven meets with Yellow and Blue about the, starting up a ball and having that happen later on, which both are on board with, because they're just like, okay, we can do this, we can have White Diamond show up, Steven could come in and talk about Homeworld and all that, Earth and all that good stuff to White Diamond, debate his case, and we can also have start Era 3, basically, which is what they go over. This is what the ball will truly about, restarting the Diamond Authority with all 4 diamonds meeting up, just, rekindling the way things hopefully used to be. And they even lend Yellow Pearl and Blue Pearl to Steven in order to get things underway and get him on the same page as everything else, since they still see him as Pink Diamond and they feel that Pink Diamond needs to be re-educated on the ways of Homeworld. And so as everyone starts discussing would happen, the dancing, the fun, the festivities. Yellow Pearl kind of shoots it down at every, possible angle because, this is more of a, your people come in, they see you, they're greeted by you, they're either accepted or dismissed by you, and we kind of go from there. There's no real dancing by the diamonds, there's no liquids of every sort, this, that, and the other. And, Steve is not even supposed to interact with any of the goings on here. He's just supposed to sit and accept anyone from his court. The very idea of him really being very much involved in anything is just completely out of the question. No dancing or anything of that nature. And you gotta love how even Yellow Pearl's just like, what is this fun you speak of? Very, very much like Peridot when she first got to Earth. There was that learning curve, but the difference here is the fact that with Peridot, she was trapped on Earth. There was no real way of getting around the fact that it was either adapt or kind of be left behind by the world you're now stuck on. Here, they're still on Homeworld, where the way they've done things for hundreds of thousands of years has just been the way everything has worked, and it hasn't worked poorly, so there's no sense in changing any of it. And we even had this moment where Steven asked, it's just like, don't you guys have anything you enjoy doing? And while Yellow Pearl's just like, no, nothing, I just served my diamond and that's it. Blue Pearl, on the other hand, actually says that she drawing, specifically the drawings from the court cases and so on and so forth, which are actually pretty good. She's actually very talented. And as soon as Yellow Pearl sees that, especially an image of herself, she starts to kind of pose to get Blue to draw a, better, her good side basically. And Steve's just like, that's what you enjoy doing. You like modeling. So, he's starting to help them find themselves to a certain degree, which is very much something that even Rose Quartz was doing, with Garnet, Amethyst, Pearl. It's just like, this is what you enjoy doing, so do it. Have fun, enjoy life for the most part, which is something that even we humans sometimes forget from time to time, getting so caught up in work and jobs and all this other stuff. We get so bogged down by the serious nature of our the world around us, we sometimes forget to have a little fun, find something we enjoy, actually having a hobby. Jesus, talking to a little aside, I was talking to a coworker who just didn't seem to enjoy doing much of anything, and it's just like, that doesn't seem like living. There must be something you enjoy doing out there. But back on topic, this is interrupted by the Blue Diamond coming in and more or less just kind of putting everything down, just being like, Pink, you're not going looking like that, are you? And are you bringing all these others, your Earth crew, with you? And Steve's just like, no, well, I can't really change my form like everyone else, and of course I'd bring them. They're more or less my court and all that good stuff. And Blue Diamond forcibly separates Steven. He's just like, no, I really want them to come with me. And Blue starts kind of laying out the ground rules. It's just like, okay, but everything has to be proper for White Diamond coming in. And Blue even starts to kind of berate Steven to a certain degree, or Pink Diamond, as it's very clear that they don't acknowledge Pink as an entirely different person. And Steven ultimately gets through to her to a certain degree, but Blue lays down the ground rules. It's just like, well, you can bring your Pearl as your servant, not as a friend, your pet, referring to Connie. Amethyst will have to have limb enhancers to get up to height standards, which is just like, yo, what the fuck? And naturally Garnet, or the creature who refers to themselves as Garnet, because Blue Diamond claps at her hard, like, it's like, oh, this thing refers to itself as a garnet, does it? So it's just like, the revelation that they're not a true garnet. There's actual, crystal, gems who are garnets, but this fusion refers to itself as a garnet. But, she's just like, well, they'll have to kind of defuse, and Sapphire will have to be with the Sapphires, and Ruby will have to be with the guards, and all that good stuff. And you could see the anger steaming behind Garnet, who's just like, I just won't go. And Blue Diamond's just like, very well. Just, it's so interesting to get this side of Blue, because we're all so used to seeing the wallowing in pity and anguish and sadness and all this good stuff. And for a while, Blue seemed to truly be on Steven's side. But now that we have this whole now that we have this whole situation where we might be seeing White Diamond at this ball, she's acting very high and mighty, very snooty, very above them all, looking down her nose literally at them. So she just wants everything to be proper and in its natural place. And so she leaves. And Steven's kind of put down by the fact that Garnet won't be in attendance and all this stuff. Garnet tries to encourage him. It's just like, do what you need to do here. Don't worry about us. We'll be fine. Just get with White Diamond. Present your case for Earth. And then we can go back home and just put this whole situation behind us. So the day of the little get-together happens, and I'm just noticing from the shot that the hand ships are gone now. So, like, was that an artist error earlier or something, or what? But the day of the whole, ball happens. Steven sits on the throne of Pink Diamond, greeting all the guests and so on and so forth. We have the situation with the living architecture going on, which, I've heard rumblings that this might be a form of punishment for certain people. Gems. So I'm just like, that's kind of messed up, I mean, just living out your existence as a permanent fixture. Now, Peridot had mentioned something about, I forget what it was, but a form of punishment. Oh, is that this? I could have sworn I heard some rumblings about that. So we'll just have to see if that's the case, but if so, that's really messed up. But, Steven starts doing the duties of Pink Diamond, greeting all the various guests who just, give this whole thing. It's just like, oh, you're so illustrious, it's good to see you, my diamond, blah, 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 blah. It's namby-pamby, stick up your butt kind of situation. But we then see, of all things, Amethyst with limb enhancers, and we see that they're all very much like Peridots. So there's nothing out of the ordinary about that. They're standard issue limb enhancers. But, Amethyst is trying to get the hang of them and having some fun with them and all that good stuff in her own Amethyst way. And we even see that Ruby and Sapphire have decided to split apart for the time being, just to come in and support Steven. Because it's just like, though they enjoy being together, they still do their best to support Steven in their own various different ways. And are any of the Rubies from back when the Jasper Retrieval team here? I'm not sure. It would be fun to see all of those Rubies, especially Eyeball, now that, she would truly know that Diamond hasn't been shattered. But we see the, introduction of Yellow Diamond to the ball, and then Blue Diamond, who are just like, Pink, you're doing so well, you're doing it, you're getting everything through it. But we then come to find out that White Diamond will not be in attendance, and White Pearl will simply be observing things. More than likely, White Diamond observing things through White Pearl, because the way White Pearl operates, just something ain't right about it. And Steven's ultimately bummed, because it's just like, that was the whole reason I put this together. So what's the point if White Diamond isn't even in attendance? Ooh, my bad. So he just kind of gets a little annoyed by this fact. And Connie has to kind of sit with him and just try to cheer him up. Be like, well, if that's the case, why don't we just, enjoy ourselves more or less? We'll pick another time to try to get with White Diamond and talk with her. But until then, she takes him out onto the dance floor, even though he's not supposed to. And they dance and they have some fun. Oh, only to the displeasure of White Pearl, whose, painted on smile quickly turns into a frown, especially after they unknowingly fuse, as much to the shock of the various gems around them. And Yellow's just like, Pink, what the fuck are you doing? And, they didn't realize that they had fused, and they're just like, oh geez, what should we do now? But, Ruby and Sapphire fuse in order to just kind of be like, don't take out any kind of anger or frustration out on Steven. That's just the way they are. And Blue Diamond kind of goes off as well. It's just like, Pink, no, you can't do this. And, the anger is just put out. And Garnet's just like, yeah, I don't want to hear nothing from you. Because, Garnet will always have that kind of animosity towards Blue Diamond because of everything that's happened. Between them, especially considering that, Blue Diamond wanted to shatter Ruby because of what had happened. But even Pearl sticks up for them as well, and she goes in and fuses with Amethyst to form Opal. So all the various fusions stand together, and we even have these two gems who, off to the side had been, emoting in various ways with the various diamonds arrivals and stuff like that. We had seen them in earlier shots, with the rest of them. They were being a little bit more playful and emotional in certain situations, and even they stand for it as a fusion. It's just like, man, I thought I was the only one, so apparently they had been doing this in secret. So even members of this court have been, fraternizing with diamonds outside of their own race. But, this Yellow Diamond comes in and quickly puts the kibosh on this. It's just like, no, no, no. And she just starts unloading, destabilizing waves on everyone, including Opal and Garnet and all this good stuff. And she's just like, Pink, you've gone too far. You need to be punished. And instead of, defusing Steven and Connie, they throw them in this tower, which, considering the fact that gems, taking nutrients, I guess, from sunlight and all that good stuff, this is more or less a kind of almost like a form of torture, because, well, they're locked in this dark space, and who knows how long they'll be put in there. So even Connie, I have to wonder if Connie's gonna be okay, because like they need to eat. At some point they're gonna require food, so this could be a very bad situation. But, that's it for Together Alone, which, as I said, it plays a big part in terms of this story, where it's just like, yes, they're all together, but they've never felt more alone because they're isolated. Their kind isn't really accepted here the way that they are. A fusion, an overcooked runt, a rebellious Pearl, all this good stuff. Because Pearl very much does not act like a Pearl in the slightest. Hell, even when it came to Pink Diamond, they were more seeing the way that the other Pearls are. Our Pearl is much not quite like the rest of the Pearls. She's a little bit more opinionated. She speaks her mind a little bit more often, and she acts by her heart more than less. Even though she does still obeys commands, there's still something inherently different from our Pearl, the way that she acts and emotes and does things. She does things her own way, and I think that's a very interesting thing to note, and as a point for her character that I feel like was desperately needed, because, with the revelation that Rose Quartz was Pink Diamond, a lot of people were just be like, oh, well, Pearl was never really following her own way or doing things her own way. She was just following her Diamond's orders. And I feel like that's not quite as cut and dry as that. But hey, tell me your thoughts on this episode in the comments section below. What did you think about how the Diamonds were acting towards Pink/Steven? What did you think about the ball? What did you think about the fact that White Diamond didn't even show up, and the various characters fusing together, and how that's such a taboo here. The very thought of, diamonds outside of their separate classes fusing and coming together, how that's so taboo, and the fact that Yellow pretty much lost her shit here. And what do you think will ultimately happen with Steven and the others? How will they escape from this tower? I'm pretty sure it's going to be Lars, because, that's one of the few people he can get in contact with. But, tell me what your favorite part it was. And if you liked what I had to say in this video, leave me a like. If you didn't like what I had to say here, because I was a little all over the place in certain places, but feel free to leave me a dislike and tell me what I did wrong in the comment section below. And if you wish, please subscribe, because I'll definitely be bringing you more reviews of the Steven Universe episodes of Diamond Days as we continue on into 2019. But until then, thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.